All right. We're going to get into Section 5, Chapter 5 of the Middle Ladies Cosmetology book. My name is Law, and I am your teacher. So listen up. Let's get it done. It says preventing the spread of disease. Proper infection control can prevent the spread of disease caused by exposure to potential infectious materials on an item's surface. Infection control also can prevent exposure to blood, invisible debris, or residue, such as dust, hair, and skin. Proper infection control requires 2 steps: cleaning and then disinfecting with an appropriate EPA registered disinfectant. When these two are followed correctly, virtually all pathogens of concern in the salon can be effectively eliminated. Sterilization, which is the process that destroys all microbial life, can be incorporated, but it is very rarely mandated. Effective sterilization typically requires the use of an autoclave. To complete, this piece of equipment incorporates heat and pressure for sterilization. To be effective, items must be cleaned prior to the autoclave, must be tested and maintained per the manufacturer's specification. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, requires the autoclaves to be tested weekly to ensure they are properly sterilizing implements. The accepted method is called a spore test. Commercial sealed packages containing test organisms are subjected to a typical sterilization cycle and then sent to a contract laboratory that specializes in autoclave performance testing. Decontamination is the removal of blood and all other potentially infectious materials on the item's surface and the removal of visible debris on residue such as dust, hair, and skin. Cleaning. A stated infection control has 2 steps: cleaning and then disinfecting. Remembering that when you clean, you must remove all visible dirt and debris from tools, implements, and equipment by washing with liquid soap and warm water and by using a clean and disinfectant nail brush. To scrub any groved or hinged portions of the items, the surface is properly cleaned when the number of contaminants on the surface is greatly reduced. In turn, this reduces the risk of infection. The vast majority of contaminants and pathogens can be removed from the surfaces of tools and implements through proper cleaning. This is why cleaning is as important part of disinfecting tools and equipment. A surface must be properly cleaned before it can be properly disinfected. Using a disinfectant without cleaning first is like using mouthwash without brushing your teeth. It just does not work properly. Clean surfaces can still harbor small amounts of pathogens, but the presence of fewer pathogens means infections are likely to be spread. Put antiseptics on your skin, or washing your hands with soap and water will drastically lower the number of pathogens on your hands. However, it does not clean them properly. The proper cleaning of the hands requires rubbing hands together and using liquid soap, warm water running, a nail brush, and a clean towel. Do not underestimate the importance of proper cleaning and hand washing. There are also important ways to prevent the spread of infection. There are 3 ways to clean your tools and implements. Number 1, washing with soap and warm water, then scrubbing them with a clean or properly disinfected nail brush. Number 2, using an ultrasonic unit. Number 3, using a cleaning solvent. Okay, moving on to disinfectant. The second step of infection control is disinfection. Remember that disinfection is the process that eliminates most, but not necessarily all, microorganisms and non-porous surfaces. This process is non-effective against bacterial spores. In the salon setting, disinfection is extremely effective in Controlling microorganisms on the surface, such as shears, nippers, and other multi-use and equipment. Multi-use and single-use tools are discussed later in this chapter. Any disinfectant used in the salon should carry an EPA registrant number, and the label should clearly state the specific organisms. The solution is effective in killing when used according to the label instructions. Remember that disinfectants are products that destroy most bacteria, fungi, and viruses, but not spores. I lost my spot. Hold on. On surface, disinfectants are not for use of human skin, nails, or hairs. Never use disinfectants as hand cleaners since they can cause skin irritation and allergy. A reaction due to sensitivity to certain foods, chemicals, or normally harmless substances. All disinfectants clearly state on the label that you should avoid skin contact. Do not put your finger directly into disinfecting solutions. Disinfectants can be harmful if absorbed, through the skin. If a mix of disinfectants in a container that is not labeled by the manufacturer, the container must be properly labeled with the contents and the date it was mixed. All concentrated disinfectants must be diluted exactly as instructed by the manufacturer on the container's label. Okay, then we have choosing disinfectants. You must read and follow the manufacturer's instructions whenever you are using a disinfectant, mixing ratio, dilution, and contact time. The amount of visibly moist time required to be effective against pathogens listed on product labels are very important and can vary widely based on the manufacturer be delivered method. For example, for concentrates have a 10-minute contact time, whereas some wipes have a 2-minute contact time. Not all disinfectants have the same concentration, so be sure to mix the correct proportions according to the instructions on the label. If the label does not have the word concentrate on it, the product is already mixed and must be used directly from the container and must not be diluted. All EPA registered disinfectants will specify and contact time in their direction for use. Disinfectants must have efficiency. Claims on the label. Efficiency is the ability to produce an effective as applied to disinfectants claims. Efficiency means the effectiveness with which a disinfectant solution kills microorganisms when used according to the label instructions. Salons and cosmetologists must be aware of the types of the disinfectants that are on the market and any new products that become available. Salons pose an infection risk when compared to hospitals. For this reason, hospitals must meet much stricter infection control standards. Even through salon pose a lower risk of spreading certain types of infections. It is very important to clean and then disinfect all tools, implements, surfaces, and equipment correctly before using on any client. Proper use of disinfectants. Implements must be thoroughly cleaned of all visible matter or residue before being placed in disinfectant solutions. This is because residue will interfere with the disinfectant and prevent proper disinfections. Properly cleaned implements and tools, free from all visible debris, must be completely immersed in disinfectant solutions. Completely immersed means there is enough liquid in the container to cover up all surfaces of the item, being disinfected, including the handles, for 10 minutes or for the time recommended by the manufacturer. Here are some disinfectant tips. Use only pre-cleaned, hard, non-porous surfaces, not a single-use abrasive files or buffers. Always wear gloves and safety glasses when handling disinfectant solutions. Always dilute products according to the instructions on the product label. An item must remain submerged in the disinfectant for 10 minutes unless the product label specifies this differently. To disinfect large surfaces such as tops, carefully apply the disinfectant onto the pre-cleaned surface or use a disinfectant spray and allow it to remain wet for 10 minutes unless the product label specifies differently. If the product label on your state rules requires complete immersion, the entire implement must be completely immersed in the solution. Change the disinfectant according to the instruction of the label. If the liquid is not changed as instructed, it will no longer be effective and may be given to promote growth of microbes. Proper disinfectant of a whirlpool, pipeless, or air jet pedicure spa requires that disinfectant solution circulate for 10 minutes unless the product label specific otherwise. Okay, that brings us to the end of section 5, chapter 5 in the Milady Cosmetology book. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next one.